Former Union Home Minister P. Chidambaram revealed that Bharat couldn't retaliate against Pakistan after 2008 Mumbai terror attacks on the 26th of November amid international pressure. Prime Minister Narendra Modi tearing into the record of the UPA taking on the terror infrastructure across the border. Speaking at the inauguration of the Navi Mumbai Airport, the Prime Minister has said UPA gave a message of weakness. A senior Congress leader and former Home Minister has revealed that after 26/11, our security forces were ready to attack Pakistan. But due to pressure from another country, Congress government stopped our security forces. Listen in.
2008 में आतंकियों ने भी मुंबई शहर को बड़े हमले के लिए चुना, लेकिन तब जो कांग्रेस की सरकार सत्ता में थी उसने कमजोरी का मैसेज दिया, आतंकवाद के सामने घुटने टेकने का संदेश दिया। अभी हाल में कांग्रेस के एक बड़े नेता जो देश के गृह मंत्री तक रह चुके हैं, उन्होंने एक इंटरव्यू में बहुत बड़ा खुलासा किया है। उन्होंने दावा किया है कि मुंबई हमले के बाद हमारी सेनाएं पाकिस्तान पर हमला करने को तैयार थी। पूरा देश भी उस समय यही चाहता था, लेकिन उस कांग्रेस नेता की माने तो किसी दूसरे देश के दबाव के कारण तब कांग्रेस सरकार ने भारत की सेनाओं को पाकिस्तान पर हमला करने से रोक दिया था।
Now this comes at a time the Congress and other parties in the INDI alliance have accused Prime Minister of surrendering to Pakistan by calling a ceasefire amid Operation Sindoor, or putting Operation Sindoor on hold under pressure from the Trump administration. Rahul Gandhi, in fact, has accused the Prime Minister of restraining the hands of the Indian Armed Forces, but contrasts those claims with exactly what P. Chidambaram has said. The whole world was descending upon Delhi to tell us not to start a war. Condoleezza Rice, then US Secretary of State, met me and then the PM. She said, please don't react. It did cross my mind that we should do some retribution. The conclusion, largely influenced by MEA and IFS, was that we should not physically react to the situation. This once again puts the focus on the UPA record of inaction against Pakistan in the wake of 26/11 attack, and namely the Sharm el-Sheikh agreement, where UPA did not bracket terror and talks, in a sense giving a clean chit to Pakistani government. And the question remains, has the Prime Minister cornered the UPA on its surrender record? Ujjwal Nikamji now joins us. We'll also be joined by our other guests in just a bit. But quickly going across to Ujjwal Nikamji, Special Public Prosecutor in 26/11 case, and also contested the Lok Sabha elections recently. Now, Ujjwal Nikamji, thank you. You're joining us all the way from New York. Thank you for your time. Quickly, your reaction to what the Prime Minister has said, quoting the senior Congress leader about the Congress's surrender and weakness.
Indeed, our Prime Minister has rightly said and passed the said remarks, because the then Home Minister of the Government of India, Mr. Chidambaram ji, has confessed that he was willing and ready to react upon the terror attack on the Mumbai on 26 November. But he further added that he was not allowed to do so. Now, it is very crystal clear that this admission of Mr. Chidambaram ji, who is the senior lawyer in the country, make it very clear, because of his political party pressure, he was not allowed to do act further which he wanted to do. Now, later on, he had taken U-turn also in this aspect. But I must tell you very clearly that I have the personal experience of conducting the terror attack, that is the trial on 26 November. I had a brief discussion with Mr. Chidambaram ji when he was a Home Minister, and at that time his anxiety was to hang over Mr. Ajmal Kasab immediately. But I told him that we had to club all the cases together and to file a single charge sheet so that we can expose the role of the Pakistan.
Right.
Initially he was reluctant, but later on he agreed upon my proposal, and then we filed a single charge sheet.
Right.
So on this background, we have to examine the remarks of our Prime Minister. Had it been taken immediate action after aftermath of the 26th November attack, then certainly the Pahalgam would not have happened. The Operation Sindoor, we would not be in a position to execute it.
Right.
But because of passive attitude of the Congress party and inaction, the poor Indians have lost their lives. Now the question would come, who is accountable for it? That is the precise question.
So you agree that Bharat was passive at that time, and had Bharat not been passive, the last 17 years would have had a totally different narrative altogether vis-a-vis Pakistan.
Yes, absolutely right, Anandji. Because had we reacted immediately after the terror attack of 26 November, you see, the whole angle of the globe would have been the change. And I really failed to understand why that time that government had not taken immediate counter action in the matter. So I would say Mr. Chidambaram has rightly confessed that it is because of the inaction. I don't know what was the compulsion for Mr. Chidambaram. But Mr. Chidambaram, being a senior lawyer, has made it very clear that it is only inaction on the part of some people. It means that the political master,
Right.
he could not proceed further.
Ji. Fair point, sir. Thank you very, very much for your time. Let's just quickly take this across to our other guests. Joining us at this point, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, Siddharth Yadav and Akashdeep Muni. My namaste and Jai Hind. Thank you for your patience. Regret Khagen Murmuji was a sudden development, and we had to go across to him because it's the first time he's saying his own version of what happened with him. And we just hope and pray wish him a speedy recovery. But coming to this subject, the surrender. Who surrendered and who didn't? Akashdeep Muni.
Anandji, first BJP should clarify that as per the recent revelations made by the Air Chief Marshal Amarpreet Singh, under whose pressure that Honorable Prime Minister stopped Operation Sindoor after Indian Air Force downed 5 Pakistani jets, implying premature ceasefire despite military success. Where did the pressure on the Prime Minister come from? And why did he call ceasefire so soon? These questions need to be answered. On Chidambaram's statement, as you cited, he has clearly said much earlier that there is no part in his interview did he say that US stopped India from retaliating after 26/11 attack. It's unfortunate that Honorable Prime Minister seemed to propagate incorrect statements on Operation Sindoor. It is on, if it's on Prime Minister Modi, as he's saying. Why did we play Pakistan? Why Indian players shook hands with Pakistani players? And all the panelists here should answer that. Aren't they appalled by the visuals they have seen?
No. Akashdeep Muni, either I didn't hear you correctly or you didn't hear the Air Chief Marshal and P. Chidambaram correctly. Because the Air Chief, you quoted the Air Chief Marshal. Air Chief Marshal Amarpreet Singh also outlined what the objectives of Operation Sindoor were. And he said that we stopped because the Pakistanis said, please stop. And we were not territorial and our objectives were not territorial, and that's why we stopped. That's also what the Air Chief Marshal said.
Anandji, Pahalgam attack happened. Where the perpetrators of Pahalgam attack brought under justice? If not, why it stopped? This is the right question. Take the right stand.
Okay.
And to ask this question that why Operation Sindoor
Siddharth Yadav, please answer this. This is being asked by a political party and its supporter who sent only dossiers, got nothing done, and whose leaders, much after Ajmal Ahmed Kasab was caught and he was sentenced, released a book which said that 26/11 is an RSS sazish. But they feel that Pahalgam had not been avenged. Why did you stop Operation Sindoor? Go ahead, please.
No, Anand, I think my learned friend from the Congress party should definitely go and listen to the statements which are being made by our military leaders. He should listen to the statements which were made by our foreign officials. But he doesn't want to listen to them. He wants to listen to someplace else, I don't know what. But you have rightly said that the position of India and the position of what we took militarily, of the kinetic action that India did, was very clear. We responded, we gave them a befitting reply, we went inside their territory, we completed the objectives that we had taken, and we came out successful. That is what India did. But the Congress party doesn't want to accept it because of their own past, because of the past that horrors Congress party, because the people who know that, who had never done something, who had never reacted in the manner that they should have, who never did actions in the manner that they should have, would definitely be asking the questions. Who will decide that it was so soon? Or who will decide what was the objective? Would the Indian Army, the Indian Armed Forces would decide that? Or Akashdeep Muni sitting on a national television would decide that? Our Indian Armed Forces have made it categorically clear that whatever objective we took, we completed it successfully. Period. You don't want to accept that. You want to do politics around of it because you have a past that haunts you. And let me tell you, whatever P. Chidambaram is saying, it is not shocking for us. It's not shocking for the country. It's absolutely, little too less and little too late. But it is that we know what Congress party did. It was not hidden from the country. When people expected you to retaliate after one of the deadliest terror attacks that happened in our country, you chose to go mum on the advice of your friends from the Western forces in the West. You chose that. And then you question the foreign policy of this country. You question the armed forces. And just give me 10 seconds, Anand. I want to make it categorically clear. Our armed forces were capable even before 2014. Our armed forces have always been capable, but it was the political will that lacked when UPA was in power that this happened. It was the political will of this one family and one party that did not retaliate and did not answer. And then you went on for the Sheikh dialogue, and you went to loosen the FDI rules. You went on to liberalize the visa deals with Pakistan. That was your response. We do not respond like that. The new Bharat doesn't respond like that. We respond, we retaliate, and we give befitting replies to whosoever comes our way and who wishes to dare the new Bharat, the Bharat of 2025.
Dr. Ranganathan, lack of political will, or was Bharat mentally not ready?
Good evening, Anand, and good evening to my fellow panelists. No, the Congress never lacked the political will, because you have to understand what that will was and who was dictating that will. The Congress's idea of foreign policy is policy dictated by foreigners. And the Congress has never lacked the political will, because the politics as well as the will has been dictated by foreigners. Now, I don't want to go about in a rigmarole kind of a way and allow an easy escape to my very good friend Dr. Muni, as he's had on many chances before. I just want to ask 5 pointed questions. And I already know the answers to all 5 of them, because they're all factual and the answers are yes or no. But I want to see whether the good Dr. Muni, for whom I have tremendous respect, would have the guts to answer one-word answers to these 5 questions. Here they are. Number 1, is it or is it not a fact that after 26/11 attacks, our IAF chief pleaded with the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh to bomb Pak terror hideouts? Number 2, is it or is it not a fact that India continued, in the wake of the deadliest terror attacks on Indian soil, that were 26/11, continued to give Pakistan the most favored nation economically? 3, is it or is it not a fact that we capitulated shamefully in the Sharm el-Sheikh agreement by not only delinking terror with talks in the wake of 26/11, but also including at Pakistan's behest and request the word Baluchistan, thereby insinuating that if Pakistan was fomenting trouble on Indian soil, we were fomenting trouble in Baluchistan, and Pakistan carried that as a trophy. Number 4, is it or is it not a fact that the Americans came over and told us not to escalate the matter with Pakistan either militarily or diplomatically after 26/11? And number 5, is it or is it not a fact that the most dreaded terrorist who was planning and orchestrating 26/11, we asked for the extradition of that terrorist only in 2020? Please give one-word answers to all these 5 questions. I challenge you.
Well, you know the answers to all of that. It's just that, that the list of those questions is long. The people who need to be accountable are also long. Some of those who should be accountable are now currently plying their ways within the BJP. So, will they be asked questions about this? We'll have to wait and watch. So, the politics also turns. We also have to turn a page on this edition of The Right Stand. I thank our guests. Sincerely regret the shortened conversation because of the development that happened.